you for coming.
So we're lucky enough to have Werner here tonight because he was doing some publicity for the film uptown.
Related publicity, so to speak, yeah.
Which you guys should all tune in for at Comedy Central at 11:30 tonight. Werner had an encounter.
Colbert report.
So we should turn it over for questions. Yes, right here.
I have to say one thing. Rightfully, he made fun about my accent, announcing me early in the show, which is fine, and I have settled into my accent. I have no problem with it, and I will maintain it. It actually has been of high value recently. I was shooting in Texas for a film Death Row, and we had a cinematographer sitting in the open passenger window. I mean, completely, the body completely out, and filming, and I held him inside on a belt, and I ran a red traffic light because I wouldn't like to interrupt the flow of the shot. And there was this sheriff behind me and stops me, and I said to him, I mustered my best accent, and I said to him, officer, I have no defense, and I will pay the fine. And I kind of couldn't help it to chuckle, and he checked my driver's license and sat there for a while, and I saw him chuckling in the car. He came back with his, I thought it was a ticket, but it was just a warning. He'd let me go. So it's all due to the accent.
I'm sure moments like that, you're glad that you did the Simpsons.
Yes, I was on The Simpsons, yeah, but as a German pharmaceutical entrepreneur who creates LSD-type pills in order to sedate and make happy the unbearable old men like Grandpa. I needed to have my accent. So. Okay, but your questions, please.
Yes, right here.
I was wondering.
Can you speak up a little bit?
I was wondering if you know about the range of tools that were made to make those effects. Was it all by hand? Were there torch charcoals? Or what was the range of?
Yeah, well, not too much tools. Of course, they didn't have an easel and they didn't have brushes or so. We know some of it, yes, is made in red ochre, and most of it charcoal. There was a sequence which I filmed with one of the archaeologists and artists who explain, who make photos and then drawings and so on. And the man, Gilles, I forgot his name right now, he demonstrated how they did it. And much of it is just charcoal and painted, and then they did a lot of smudging. Just with the palm of the hand and with a thumb, there was shades and smudging. And for example, the horses, the outlines of the horses were chiseled and were somehow inscribed, the edges, with a very sharp tool, like with a nail scratched along the silhouette of the face of the horse, which gives it a very, very distinct presence. So it's pretty much known how it was done. And ultimately very, very simple. You just had a piece of charcoal and would start to do it. And of course, you didn't have too much time because your torch would burn down and you would have to bring another torch far into the cave, or you would have to bring in a couple of torches. And I don't think they spent too long time there. By the way, the part of the cave where you see the lions stalking this big panel and these wonderful lions, there's a significant amount of CO2 gas. So, and probably in prehistoric times as well, because this porous limestone lets the CO2 gas seep through it. It comes from the roots of trees which absorb it. So probably in prehistoric times you had quite a serious level of CO2 gas. in more than 40 minutes, 50 minutes, you get woozy. You see, and there's even a protocol with the guards. If, let's say, you would faint, I would be the next one to rescue you, but if both of us faint, so there's a very clear procedure of who rescues whom and in which order, and of course there are some oxygen masks nearby stored. So if you fainted and I couldn't move you out quickly enough, somebody would come in with an oxygen mask. So I do believe that it was done fairly quickly. And the techniques, very, very simple. Yeah. Can you be a little louder?